Battletard 4, Return of the Tard, or as most of you know it, the Rush Game Mode. Now, I don't actually have a better name. I thought that's going to be probably a little bit politically incorrect to the vast majority of people watching this, but I could not think of a better name for the type of players that you encounter, it seems exclusively in the Rush Game Mode in Battlefield 4. I don't know where they come from. They're not even noobs. Like, I've seen a level 2 religiously attack an objective like he knew where it was, and although he didn't last very long when he got to it, he at least tried. There's level 30s, 40s, 50s in this very game I'm playing here who just, there's accidentally eaten paint chips, and then there's snacking on them. They're not crisps, guys. I'm just going to go on to the next bit of news, which is, of course, the Xbox One is getting released tomorrow. Now, I'm not actually too excited about that. Am I allowed to say that? Probably not. I am quite excited about some of the games that are coming out on it, though. So far, I don't know which launch titles any of you guys have pre-ordered. If you get an Xbox One, or the ones that you've got for PlayStation 4, you'll have to tell me in the comments, because I'm quite interested. The ones I've got Dead Rising 3. I think Forza actually comes with it. I think it was like a joint with Forza Pack Xbox, the one that I'm getting. I've got Rise Sons of Rome, and of course, Second Assault for Battlefield 4, which only comes out on Xbox One. Now, this DLC has been a point of confusion for a lot of people. Second Assault, which is basically Operation Firestorm, Caspian Border, Metro, and Gulf of Oman, as well as the L85, the MP7, the RPK, the MTAR, I think the Goal Sniper, which wasn't in Battlefield 3, but was in Bad Company 2, and the F2000, which looks like a Starship Troopers gun or something in this, a lot better than it did in Battlefield 3, are coming out with Second Assault tomorrow just on the Xbox One. And I don't think there's actually a release date for PC or PlayStation 3, but weirdly, there is a release date for the next bit of DLC, China Rising, which comes out on the 3rd of December on Xbox One. I think a week early before PC and PlayStation get that. So, it's a bit confusing with the DLC dates. We'll have to see how it pans out, but if you want to play Second Assault, then it is coming out tomorrow. The L85, though, we're using here in this gameplay. No idea what the secondary is. Well, the L85, my favourite looking gun in Battlefield 3. Not the best by far compared to the rest, and I don't think it's probably going to be the best in Battlefield 4, though there's not really any statistics out for it yet. But, I don't know, that cool reload you saw just there as I was going up the stairs, I just love using this gun over it. I like using the M416 as well. I think that's a really cool looking gun. The Ace-23, a lot of people have been using that because I think it probably is, as I've said before, statistically the best gun in the game to use. But the Ace-23 has kind of got like it goes like, when the clip goes in, it's not like a crisp kind of sound. I don't know. I know that's a daft thing to decide whether or not you like a gun on, but that sloop sound, it's I just prefer one that sounds crisp and sort of actionable. Now, obviously, this gun would be a lot better with the sight on, but unfortunately, it removes that top bar bit when you put the sight on this gun, and even though the iron sights are kind of obstructive, they're just not as cool. And if you play with this gun on the Xbox and the PlayStation, because it takes ages for the textures to load in on that, it's just, it doesn't even give you an iron sight for a while, it just gives you like a blob with no hole to actually aim through. But that's just on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Hopefully, if you want the most out of Battlefield, you'll be playing this on PC or the next-gen consoles, because that's where this game is going to be best at. Most important attachment, though, is the grip. And in both of these, in this clips here, I'm using the ergo grip, and in the next clips, I'm using the vertical grip. Those two basically do exactly the same thing. They make your hip spread less when you're both aiming down the sides and when you're just using hip fire, as I am here. And I tend to use that over the other ones, although Jack's been telling me that a lot of the pro guys have been using the potato grip and the stubby grip, which do exactly the same, but they both reduce the amount of spread that you've got, so I would imagine they're probably the best overall. But because hip fire and sort of shooting people at close range seems to be a bit sort of random in Battlefield 4, I tend to find that that's better than just burst firing people at range, because sometimes you get like insta-killed with hip fire in this game, and I find that happens less if I've got the ones that improve my hip fire, because that's kind of where things act a little bit derpy. Derpy? Speaking of derping, you're about to see me shoot somebody and get no hit markers, and you might be wondering why I'm miles out of bounds here. I didn't just abandon that helicopter, I was sat there for like literally 3 or 4 minutes just letting people parachute in. That is the best use, like flying at max altitude with a helicopter and then letting people drop in. But the other thing is if you're the pilot of the helicopter, you can run in what is out of bounds on this map. So I'm actually in an area the rest of the soldiers on my team can't get into, but you can parachute down and go to the spawn and get them from behind. Now that might seem like a bit of a cheap tactic, but to be honest, they literally spawn on the objective in this. So sometimes you can't get an advantage and actually get in to plant the objective unless you do something like that. I did see that guy in the playback. Unfortunately, he failed massively trying to knife me there. But, you know, you should be expected. This is Return of the Battletards. I'm using the G18 here, not the usual M1911. I never really used that in the G18. If you notice that blur, by the way, some people thought that I was just putting these in to give you random moments of 3D, but I've actually tried playing with 3D glasses on. It's not 3D. It doesn't make the game just 3D for a split second when it does that. It's a graphical bug, you know, like where it seems to like separate red, blue, and whatever. I don't know why it does it. It seems to do it to everybody. I've been trying to read up, see if it's something that I've done, but I don't know. It's just like a 3D graphical bug that isn't actually 3D, but is trying to be 3D. So there is something wrong. Something very wrong here. But don't worry, because DICE are going to patch it. Much like they were going to patch the Tom Hanks sound moments. You see, you thought that the sound loss on Lankham Dam and Goldwood Railway were actually not meant to be there. It's because they watched Saving Private Ryan. When Tom Hanks gets hit by a mortar and stuff and shot, things just go all quiet for him. That's the effect that's happening in this game. It's too realistic. We can't handle this. I don't think. I can't handle this. Now, you may have just seen me whip it out there, my flashbang launcher. I've also brought smoke grenades, which you should take the smoke grenades that you throw, not the ones that go in the launcher, because they seem a bit wispy, the ones that come out of the launcher, like they don't create a proper smoke cloud. That was quite impressive. I asked for a medkit and an ammo, and I got a medkit. Unfortunately, Java Rex there was probably too interested in the red-blue-green separation that just happened again. And unfortunately, there's no punch in the nuts option in this. But onwards to the next objective. In fact, I've got another tip for you. And I'm putting a quick clip here just to show you, because this is actually a really important tip when you're shooting at people. So in this clip, I'm holding down the fire button, then aiming down the sights while still holding it. And as you can see, it's using hip spread still to fire at the wall. This one, aiming first, then firing. And the difference is just absolutely huge in accuracy. So that's why you might encounter some pretty bad hit detection, or what you seem to be, or what you feel is pretty bad hit detection when aiming down the sight. So just try and avoid that if possible. Don't know if you heard there, but they've marked me as a high value target, which is why all these guys know where I am. If you're wondering what that is, that's where the commander marks me, or the person who's doing pretty well on the team, or a tank or whatever. With a massive diamond above the head, you can see through what? Think the obliteration bomb icon. You basically get that over your head, and that's what I had there. They can see it through walls and everything. It constantly updates. I'm not entirely sure what the thinking there was behind that, punishing anybody who was playing fairly well at any point. I can understand being able to put it on vehicles, because if you surprise a tank, you're going to get yourself fucked up, because they're not the kind of creature you want to surprise. But if you surprise infantry in this game, that infantry is probably going to die, as I did there, because unfortunately it doesn't take many shots to take people down, and it seems you get told you're being shot about 5-6 seconds after you've actually been shot. May have been a slight exaggeration there. Let's test it out on this guy. Nope, no reaction. But there's another guy up here. Unfortunately, I didn't actually know up until that point that the flashbang launcher does kill in one shot. And from then onwards, I was intrigued. But he spoiled my fun. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you watched before DayZ, you'll be pleased to know. Those of you who follow my Facebook, it's in the description if you want to follow it as well. That's where I put updates. You'll be pleased to hear I've got 11 hours of footage to edit up after I finish this commentary, so I can get out a DayZ episode for tomorrow. That is a lot of footage to edit. But I will be posting Second Assault on Saturday, so watch out for that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next chapter.